Guardians, the great protectors of lore. In the world of Adventure Quest, they have had a very long and storied history. In Ardix Entertainment's first game, Adventure Quest Classic, this was the class you received upon upgrading to Premium. And while it was replaced in Dragon Fable for the Dragonlord class, it did make a return in Adventure Quest Worlds. Upon verifying your account, you would receive the Guardian class, as proof that you did in fact have Guardian on your initial Adventure Quest Classic account. This tradition has indeed carried over into Adventure Quest 3D, as unlike other classes which can be unlocked through either hard grinding or using dragon crystals, Guardian is only obtainable by upgrading your account from a standard account to a Guardian account. This brings me onto a subject I feel I need to address. Is Guardian a pay-to-win class? The simple answer is no, it is not. Guardian is merely a benefit along with many other benefits from upgrading from a standard account to a premium account. And we must remember that at the end of the day, Guardian is but one class out of a potential 60 that Adventure Quest 3D has promised to have in the game. With this said, we can begin to talk about the Guardian class itself. Guardian is a close-range class and requires mana to use all of its skills. Like many other classes that have a resource such as mana or an ability similar to mana, a Guardian will regenerate its mana in battle. In addition, it can still use a mana potion if it feels like it needs a quick burst of additional mana. Before we talk about the Guardian skills, we should first go over one of Guardian's abilities, known as Guardian Mark. Of all 6 of Guardian's abilities, 2 will create Guardian Marks, and 2 will use Guardian Marks. While I will go over which abilities these are, it should be noted that neither the Cross skill or Ultimate ability use Guardian Marks at all. Guardian Marks themselves have a stack size of 10 and a duration of 10 seconds. And unlike a poison, which is applied to an enemy, these stacks are applied to the Guardian. These marks will then give the Guardian a boost of power when it uses some of its abilities. However, they will be consumed in the action. This means when it comes to Guardian marks, the player has to think very carefully about which of the abilities they want to use the Guardian marks on. As while it is not hard to rebuild Guardian marks after they have been used, their short duration time means they may expire before the start of the next fight. With this all said, we can move on to Guardian's abilities. As always, we will start with the passive. Guardian's passive is known as Bulwark, and will give it an outright 10% reduction to all damage taken. Guardian's auto ability is Auto Attack. This is also one of the 2 abilities that will instill a Guardian mark upon every successful attack. Guardian's first skill is Guardian Strike. This ability will cost 30 mana to use and will create 3 Guardian marks upon every use. The next ability is Dragon Breath. This will cost 90 mana to use and has a cast time of 0.5 seconds. When this ability is used, it will create a small casting area in front of it. All enemies hit in this effect will be afflicted with Taunt. Taunt has a duration of 5 seconds and will force all opponents affected by Taunt to attack the person who cast it upon them. This is one of 2 abilities that consumes Guardian Marks. When Dragon's Breath consumes a Guardian Mark, it gains an increased amount of damage based on each Guardian Mark it consumes. The next ability is Guardian Hope. This ability costs 120 mana to use. When cast, this ability will heal not only the Guardian, but anyone within the Guardian's radius. This is one of 2 abilities that consumes Guardian Marks. Upon consuming Guardian Marks, Guardian's Hope will receive additional healing based on how many marks it has consumed. Guardian's ultimate ability is Guardian Summon. This ability costs 125 mana to use and has a 0.25 second cast time. After casting the ability, you will deal a high amount of damage to a single target. However, once you get Guardian to rank 9, you will also give your allies around you a temporary boost to their armor. And finally we move on to Guardian's cross skill, which is Provoke. When Provoke is used, it will deal 100% more aggro per the attack. In addition, it will cast Taunt on the opponent. Now we will move on to Guardian's leveling. Like all classes, Guardian's first 5 ranks are dedicated to that of Guardian's basic skills. These are Guardian Strike at rank 1, Dragon's Breath at rank 2, Guardian's Hope at rank 3, Guardian's passive Bulwark at rank 4, and Guardian's ultimate Guardian Summon at rank 5. As with the other classes, the next 4 ranks are dedicated towards buffs. These are Guardian Strike, lowering its cost by 15 at rank 6, Dragon's Breath increasing its power by 3.5% for each Guardian mark at rank 7, Guardian's Hope increasing its range by 50% at rank 8, and as stated before, at rank 9, Guardian Summon, granting an additional armor bonus to all surrounding party members. Then finally, Provoke is unlocked for all classes at rank 10. And now, an accurate depiction of what it is like to play Guardian in the boss room. While Guardian is indeed a tank class, there is something that needs to be noted about Adventure Quest 3D. This is a game that is not based around the idea of the three-class system. There are no tank classes, there are no offense classes, and there are no support classes. In truth, the only real stats that matter are those stats of your equipment. Each of the classes simply represents an alternative way to play the game, rather than a class system within itself. And while I do myself use the terms support, offense, and tank to describe the classes in this overview, that is merely to help separate the classes and give people who do not normally play Adventure Quest 3D an idea of how the classes may be used. And this, sadly, is Guardian's greatest fault. While it has many skills that allow it to taunt and provoke enemies into attacking it, it will always have the same amount of defense as any pirate, or any warrior, or any mage. And while Bulwark does provide Guardian an additional 10% bonus as its passive to all defense, this is very unnoticeable in many of the larger fights, where damage numbers can consume half a player's health at any given time. However, hopefully in the future we will see a change to this system, and I may be able to come back here and redo the video on Guardian, talking about it as a true tank class. Thank you for watching. In the next video in the series, we will cover the Dragon Slayer.